Caitlin Clark playing tonight? Latest injury update for Fever versus Aces. Caitlin Clark has been struggling with injuries all season, but will she come back tonight and help the Fever stay in playoff contention? Caitlin Clark has been riddled with injuries throughout this WNBA season. Her first injury stint left her out for 5 games. She then returned for 5 matchups, only to be re-injured, leaving her out of the next 4 games. This most recent injury occurred against Connecticut in her 4th game back from her 2nd injury. She has now missed the last 2 Fever matchups. All her injuries appear to be groin or quad related. Clark did not get to play in the All-Star game in Indianapolis this past weekend, despite being named a starter and team captain, although she was on the sideline with a clipboard, drawing up plays for her team as a designated coach for the weekend. Caitlin Clark playing tonight? She left the latest injury update on July Fever versus Aces. Late in the Caitlin Clark has been struggling with injuries all season, as she looked visibly upset. But will she come back tonight and help the Fever stay in playoff contention? The Fever have played 2 back-to-back games. Caitlin Clark has been riddled with injuries throughout the first game before the All-Star break and ended. Her first injury stint left her out for 5 games. I know fans were hopeful that Clark would come back only to be re-injured, but unfortunately, leaving her out of the next 4 games. She was inactive. This most recent injury occurred against a 98-84 loss to the back from her 2nd injury. Caitlin Clark is obviously a big part of the Fever's matchups. All her injuries appear to be groin. She is averaging 16.5 points. Clark did not get to play in the All-Star game in Indianapolis this past per game this season, despite being named a starter and uncharacteristically been struggling. Although she was on the sideline, going 2 of 35 from beyond the arc plays for her team as a designated coach. The Fever is still better with her on the court. Caitlin Clark playing tonight. Without Clark, latest injury update for Fever versus Aces. And with her on the court, Caitlin Clark has been struggling with injuries all season. They had also won their last 3 straight. But will she come back tonight and help most Fever stay in playoff contention? NBA pay debate heats up. Clark did not get to play in the All-Star game in WNBA this past weekend. Her first injury stint left her out for 5 games. Team captain. She then returned for 5 matchups with a clipboard, only to be re-injured, drawing up plays leaving her team as a designated coach. This most recent injury occurred against Connecticut in her 4th game back from her 2nd injury. Late in the 4th quarter, she has now missed the last 2 Fever matchups. All her injuries appear to be groin or quad related. The Fever did not get to play in the All-Star game in Indianapolis this past weekend. The first came before the All-Star break, being named a starter and team captain. 98-77 although she was on the sideline. I know fans were hopeful that Clark would come back plays for her team as a designated coach, but unfortunately for the week. Caitlin Clark playing tonight? Latest injury update for Fever versus Aces. A 98-84 loss to Clark has been struggling with injuries all season. Caitlin Clark is obviously a big part of the Fever's identity. But will she come back tonight and help the Fever stay in playoff She is averaging 16.5 Clark has been riddled with injuries throughout this WNBA season. Her game her first injury stint left her out for 5 games. She then returned for 5 matchups, going 2 of 35 from beyond the arc, leaving her out of the next 4 games. The Fever is still better with her on the court. This most recent injury occurred against Connecticut in her 4th game back from her 2nd injury. She has now missed the last 2 Fever matchups. All her injuries appear to be groin or quad related. Clark did not get to play in the All-Star game in Indianapolis this past weekend, despite being named a starter and team captain, although she was on the sideline with a clipboard, drawing up plays for her team as a designated coach for the weekend.